Alright, what is up with it? How's everybody doing? Today, accompanying me on the stream is... That's right, this plate of chicken nuggets. They're shaped like dinosaurs, and I put a little dab of hot sauce on them. No, but Atrioc's gonna be joining me at some point, probably pretty soon. I sent him a Discord message.
Toph! I'm gonna have a talk with my good friend Toph, Big T.
Oh shit, alright.
Big T! Big T and Big A, dude.
Hey, yo!
Big A.
What's up, dude?
Just the dream team.
Up? Dude, it is the dream team. The duo, the dynamic duo.
You were talking Melee?
Yeah, Melee, and I was basically just looking at the Evo announcement, so Evo's back.
Yeah,
I was down to talk about that with you,
not
too.
back for Smash, right?
I don't think so. Well, so the interesting thing was Markman, who's like biz dev for Evo, he put out a tweet, and he was like, yeah, just so you guys are clear, Evo's still open to all platforms, PlayStation's down. He says the teams at PlayStation and RTS are enabling us to continue working with their community to support fighting games, and he said it's open to all platforms, implying...
Yeah.
We can run Nintendo, but I'm not worried about whether Sony is down to run it. I'm worried about if Nintendo's down to run it.
That's true. Actually, a great point. Like, yeah, I mean, even if Sony was on board, I think now that Sony owns it, the odds are low from either side. I just don't think it's going to be a Brit. I mean, it was already, literally, if Sony didn't buy it, I wouldn't be like, oh, there's a good chance. There's almost no chance because Evo's already been shitting on Melee forever. So
Forever.
Why would this change things?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if Sony was still selling CRTs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Oh, man, it's all about the CRT. It always comes back to the CRT market.
I don't think so. But we don't need it, right?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think
that's the question of the day. That's the question of the day, actually.
Good segue.
I think we should talk about it. You could probably set it up better than me, but what's the big question here?
So this all started when esports commentator lives in Korea, Proxy Wolf, and I saw a tweet he made. He was replying to Monty. They were kind of lamenting the lack of 1v1 esports, which we've talked about because you're a StarCraft, you know, right? And Wolf was like, with Melee,
in the water.
He said also with Melee's massive decline recently, there really is a huge void in the 1v1 department in general.
Hit him with a massive decline.
Yeah, and I replied to him and I was like, that's interesting because I don't really feel like me being in the Melee scene, I don't really feel like Melee's having decline at all. But I'm interested in the fact that you think that, like, if you think Melee's having decline, that probably means the average casual esports spectator or whatever thinks Melee's having decline. So I want to fix this problem.
Yeah.
And I basically drilled into it in the stream, and I realized, like, people are playing more Melee than ever with Slippy.
Yeah.
People who already play Melee, like
people who already play Melee. Yeah.
I was talking to Ken Chen,
the homie,
the homie, your old boss, Hotbid. And Ken was even talking about how, like, he said, no, I think there's no decline. And I'm like, okay, well, good to hear that from you. And he was like, yeah, you know, like 8 of my StarCraft friends just started playing, and they're having weekly crew battles with 8 of my Dota friends. And they're practicing for these weekly I was like, that's really cool. But at the same time, there's this weird discrepancy between, like, okay, so our playing numbers are way up. People from, dude, I run into Taj on unranked. I run into, like, people who haven't entered tournaments in years are playing a lot.
Can I tell you that I ran, did you see Blur's tweet? I just have to clear the air on this.
Well, what's the tweet?
Well, I ran into Blur on unranked, and I don't know if you saw his tweet.
No,
you're already laughing. So okay, well.
I assume you beat his ass, but
no, I didn't, Toph. I didn't. Let me tell you exactly what happened. And I feel like I've gotten skamazed on night. I feel like it ruined Blur for me the way I encountered him. All right. So I went on vacation. I proposed.
Oh.
And, I came back and, like, I was like, all right, well, I haven't played Melee in a month, but I'm feeling like I want to play it. Let's run on this way. And I run into Crimson Blur. This is fun. I'll play with my friend Crimson Blur. I haven't talked to him in a while, so we're right. And I win the first game, but we play some more. And we played like literally 3 hours. All right.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of games, 100 games. We played a lot of games. And I won about a third of them. All right, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Okay, he was playing good. He was playing nice. He's got the blur dashes. He was in prime blur form. I'm proud that he took a lot of games. I won a third. Then I'm done. I'm ready to just check out. All right, I gotta go. I leave the game. Literally within 15 seconds. Look, literally you could count them on your hand. 15 seconds after we exit Flippy, there is a tweet openly tagging me from Blur, saying, just played Atrioc for 3 hours on Netplay. I don't think he won a single game. I know he's getting married to Ari, but no one taps his ass like the Blur. Something like that. Immediately. Immediately. And I'm in such a fucked position because I can't respond and be like, actually, you only won 2/3.
Oh,
that's a terrible.
yeah,
I can't respond.
That's such a beta response.
I can't prove him. I can prove him wrong, but it doesn't sound cool. I beat his ass plenty of games, but I lost more than half, so I can't. If I can't either lie. So he lied. He took the inch and took a mile. You know what I'm saying? It's a blur.
I got a couple thoughts here. One, fully on your side here, that's messed up.
It's messed up.
That's messed up.
Absolutely messed up.
And if Blur was a true competitor, he would know that this is bad mannered. That's how you know he's out of the esports game. That's how you know he's not a competitor anymore.
It's classic bad manner.
That's how you know he's not a competitor anymore. This is all he's got. This is all Blur's got. All he's got is lying about Atrioc friendlies.
But why'd you have to lie? That's the question. He could have been like, yeah, I just played Atrioc for 3 hours, was way up. Or I don't know, but he had to go for fucking not sure. He's not sure. By the way, I won the first and last game. So it's not like it was like, oh, I forgot about winning. I won the game, then closed it out, and then he fucking. I have no response. I didn't even like the tweet. I just ignored it. I didn't move the needle at all. I let the tweet lie.
Good callback. Here's how I would have replied. And this is gonna be. This is a shame because you can't go. This tweet's a month old. Yeah, you can't go. You can't go. This is that. Yeah, this is that thing with someone comes up to you and they insult you. And then, like, you're on your way home later in the day or whatever, you think of a great comeback. Okay, I would have gotten your Slippy replays, which you have, because Slippy saves replays for every game you play. I would have found the game that you won.
The final game. Let's do the final. Yeah.
Sure, final game. Or the game that you won where you did the coolest combo that could be a clip. And I would post a clip of you winning that game with it saying game, and I would reply, and I would say, this you?
Actually a fucking good response.
I know.
Where were you, Joe? Where were you? That would have been so good. Oh my god! I'm like, you actually just ruined my day.
I know.
I could have tweeted that. That would have been a golden response.
I should have. My bad, dude.
You.
Fuck. That's tragic. God damn it, dude.
That's tragic, dude.
Can I actually tell you? I'm actually surprised he was beating. I actually have a lot of respect for you as a player. I
am a little out of the game. You talk about everyone playing Melee more. So I'm going to give a different take today. I want to talk about this Melee thing. I do think there has been a decline outside of the core player base. I do. And I'm not happy about it, of course. I think we should talk about how to fix it.
Yep.
But I think if you look at Melee viewership, it's not exactly at its heights.
No, it's not.
Even pre-Rona, I feel like it was slipping. It wasn't dead by any means, and some are still doing amazing, but I do think it's slipping. And I think from my POV, I'm gonna just draw something here.
Okay, I'm gonna capture your stream.
Draw this, the marketing funnel.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course I know.
All right,
you actually don't even need to say I know. I think about the marketing funnel every day of my life.
Just for the chat. Just for the chat, then I'll bring up a marketing funnel image. So this is the marketing funnel. This is not exactly one-to-one, but we're gonna just use it. This is the marketing funnel, all right? And if you think about it, it's like this is where you get new people in at the top. So things like this would be something like the doc, okay? The doc gets a big fucking assload of people in the top of the funnel. And then some of them churn out at every level. It gets harder and harder. Like if they're gonna go from watching the doc to actually getting the game, that's a level out. Then they want to practice the game, that's a level out. Then watching tournaments is level out. Then and each level you lose people. You can't avoid this. That's one thing they talk about in some marketing books I've read, is that if you try to do things that avoid it, things like loyalty programs have been proven over time to be remarkably ineffective. They're only good at making marketers think they're doing a good job because they're marketing people that already like their stuff. But if you're not constantly filling the top of this funnel, you're gonna die. Eventually, your brand dies. So
got it.
What I'm sort of thinking the problem is we were kind of counting on metagame to refill the top of this funnel again. Because we've gotten better at every other part of it. I think the Melee community's actually gotten this part it's so much more easy to learn the game. It's easier to enter tournaments. Slippy's made it easier to play your friends. You don't need to buy an old CRT. Like, we've gotten all of these parts of the funnel more refined. But the fact is, we're not getting anyone new in the green. No one's getting dropped in. And we need that broad very casual, friendly awareness base. And if you don't have that, you're just slowly dying no matter what you do, because people will churn. The thing is, whether someone plays Melee a lot or not is not determined by what the community does. It's more determined by their life situation. If they have a free summer or no job, they're going to play a lot of Melee. If something else happens, they might like so many things in your life will determine. One book I read that really opened my eyes to it was like talking about how it was like shitting on loyalty programs really, but it was talking about how like a guy might have a Super Bowl party and go to the store and buy like 10 packs of chips. And if you're just looking at the data, you might think, man, that guy is a chip influencer. Like this guy loves, he's like he's a big Lay's fan. He's a super fan. We should market to that guy. He's like, he's going to spread the good word, but he just had a party. Like people have a million things in their life that just make them cause to buy more or less or do more or less. And you can't control that stuff. And so really you gotta focus on like some of the broader, bigger picture stuff. And I think we really hoped that Metagame would have done this, but it didn't. It really didn't solve anyone's problems because the hardcore fans didn't really like it, and then it wasn't easy.
I don't even think you can watch it for free, right?
Yeah, you can't watch it new. You can't go in blind and like, I feel like it has too much required knowledge. So, I don't know. I think this is a problem that I think this is where the problem of Melee lies, is like trying to find a way to make it easy.
Yeah. Evo for many years was our awareness. I think it brought, because like this is kind of what I was mentioning. Was okay, so no Melee at Evo 2019. When you think about how many people watch like Evo Grand Finals or Top 8s every year, it was always like 200,000.
Yeah.
Okay, the next biggest tournament would be 100,000.
Yeah.
You know, range viewership. That's like, I mean, obviously this is an oversimplified way of looking at it, but that's 100,000 people that basically think, 100,000 people that don't watch the game regularly, that now because the game's not at Evo think it's gone. They're like, well, I don't see Melee at Evo anymore.
Yeah.
Last year there was no Evo.
yeah. But it's also like, it's not even like they think it's gone. It's like, that's 100,000 people that could have been new fans to replace some of the people that will inevitably churn. Some people are going to stop playing Melee. Even hardcore Melee fans are just going to like churn out, because I don't know. Like I imagine that Ludwig plays less Melee than he used to, right? Because he's doing other things. I think people just life happens and people churn out. And if you're not replacing them with new people, then eventually you're just left with fewer people. And so I think if we don't have Evo, and I think Summit is great, but it only appears to hardcore fans. So it's not great for getting new people in. I think there's got to be, I think that's just a problem that Melee community should really think about, is like, how do we show how dope this game is to new people in a new way? I think the doc was amazing. And I think one of the things the doc did that the new doc didn't do at all, like if you could make someone like Mewtwo King seem like a badass, if you know what I'm saying? Like that's so, if you can make being good at this game seem cool and being able to just destroy other people are impressed with that, and then they are attracted to that, and they want to know more about that. And I don't think we've done that. I don't think we've done
in a while.
Yeah, in a while. I don't think a new player knows how cool it is to be good at Melee and how much better you can be than the average person.
Right.
Like when I think of, I don't know, Marvel or something, I'm not excited about it, because I think my stupid brain, obviously no, if I think about it harder, my stupid brain thinks like, oh, they just memorized more combo. I don't know the skill gap. I don't know how badly a top player would destroy a mid player would destroy a bad player. And I think that kind of shit makes it seem so cool.
Yeah. And you think that Melee used to do a better job of kind of showing that off?
I literally think the friend of the producer scene did more for Melee than like I think.
Oh, the friend of the producer.
I literally think that became so iconic, and that like was like, holy shit. It sets it up perfectly. Like you just know your friends, and everyone thought they were good at Melee, and then some guy can come along and it's like this wow moment. They can 3v1, and then everyone's like, holy shit. I think that had like marketing impact far greater than almost any other ad you could create. It was just so cool. It made Melee seem so cool. And so I don't know. I wish we had more moments like that to get people outside of Melee thinking, wow, this game is fucking dope.
This is honestly like a problem that every fighting game has kind of had, because the way fighting games were marketed in the beginning was the arcade.
Yeah.
Like before I played Melee, I used to like back in the day, I'd go to the arcade, play Guilty Gear and stuff, like as a kind of a casual. But the reason I wanted to play it was because I'd go to the arcade at the mall or whatever, and I'd see people on the cabinets, and they would destroy people and look flashy.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you don't really have an avenue for that anymore.
Exactly.
So fighting games are in this weird spot where they're this genre that really had to reinvent themselves, and we've done some things pretty well, but I don't think I think that's why fighting games have always kind of been thought of more recently as a sort of niche esport versus,
Yeah.
We just don't have. Yeah, I think you're totally
100%.
right, dude.
Yeah.
I think you're totally right.
From a melee POV, rollback netcode is like the coolest fucking innovation ever. It's amazing, and just people don't know about it. They don't know how easy it is, and they don't know. I think even if they did, they don't have a reason to play it over another game because there's a million good games out there now. So they have to. I think you got to tell them that story. They got to sell them on like, if you practice this, you can fuck people up.
Yeah, you can fuck people up.
Fuck people up. Like there'll be levels to this shit. It'll make you feel cool. Because it does. That's why people get good at melee. Because when you do a fucking swaggy ass combo on somebody, you feel
feels
cool.
so good.
You feel like
that's what I was even saying. Like, dude, I've been starting to try to do some tutorial content because like my whole thing is like, okay, if someone picks up a controller, like the moment they do their first like Falco down air sign forward smash, that like a combo like that, they are in for life.
Yeah, you're
like,
in.
They are a smasher.
100%.
They will, like, it feels so good.
Especially,
I just want to get people to that point.
I do think there's nothing that replaces having a third person watching and going, ooh, you know, like I and that's one thing we don't have on Slippy, but like that was like when I played at Twitch Office and I would get a combo on somebody and somebody watching, maybe someone was like, oh no, like give you a attaboy, you feel like a god.
You feel like
if someone else is watching your game and you get to fucking pop off, you just feel like it's like the best. It's the best part of melee. It's the highest dopamine rush. So I think we got to show more of that happening because that's the selling point.
Dude, there's this great what's the guy's there's this great video of this exact concept, like how the best thing about fighting games is when someone pops off for you.
You know, I don't know how the matchmaking has gone, but once there's a way to play people closer to your level, a game like StarCraft, a game like Melee, any of these really hard games, they're 50,000 times more fun if you're playing against someone your level, no matter what level that is. If you're playing someone worse than you, they're not that fun. If you're playing someone way better than you, it's not that fun. It can motivate you, but it's not that fun. But if you're playing someone your level, it's like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. It doesn't matter if that's the lowest level.
Right.
So...
Right. That's why, like, the first thing Fizzy did. Like,
I got to ban Blur. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do want to continue this. I have a ban Blur from my chat. I just have to ban him.
Please ban Blur.
No.
I just read what he said.
Yeah.
I just had to.
I have no legal recourse. You know, it's like my hands are tied. I had to ban him.
That's messed up. And Blur, I'm here to tell you, if you're still listening, that's messed up.
It's messed
up.
This
is my favorite to encapsulate everything you just said. This 13-second video.
Let me see. Wait, so he owns him and he's looking for approval and doesn't get it?
Hey, yeah. He does some sick combo and he like looks at his buddy to be like, yo, you see that?
Sad.
And he perfectly like, no.
That's so sad, dude. You don't give your boy daps when he does a sick combo. You're killing fighting games. Every time you do that, you are killing fighting games. That's why we do this.
Yeah. So I guess what you're saying relative to the marketing funnel is like all the stuff we're really good at right now. It's all stopping churn. So we're killing the game at every step of the marketing funnel except for the awareness.
Yeah, I think we are. Everything's gotten better. If you're already like know about Melee and you're like in the step where you want to play, everything's gotten easier. But like if you don't know, if you're not getting new people in, if they're not hearing about Melee and getting a reason to even care, then we're not growing. And that's how you get new people. I mean, literally. If you think about it, this bottom funnel's always existed and it's always been kind of shoddy. And even with the shoddy, terrible funnel back in the day, the amount of people that got dumped in from the dock, if you dump in 1 million people at the top, even if a lot of them churn out, you end up with 100,000 people at the bottom. And that's what happened. I mean, literally, the dock dumped 1 million new people into like how cool Melee is and the story of it. And even though we lost a lot of them, the people that stayed around that it built an almost entire scene off of that and Evo sort of combined. So without something that's really broad like that for casuals to see how cool Melee is, I don't think it's going to grow. I think Melee will decline very slow. I don't think it's a massive decline. I think it's very slow, but I just think that's just natural. It's always slowly declining unless you're adding new people.
Right.
That's my theory.
Yeah, it's funny because what I kind of observe is like I feel like a lot of people are coming back, but ultimately they're not new people. Like I ran into people on Unranked. I ran into this dude who's a Luigi player from Idaho. I housed for a tournament in Washington when I went to the University of Washington in 2009. I thought I think he had like kids. Like it's 12 years
He's
later,
back, baby.
and he's back. You know, there's so many people that haven't entered tournaments in
The cool
years.
thing about Melee is people don't ever really want to hang up the controller for good. It's
good.
too fun.
Exactly,
Yeah,
it's too fun.
Breaks, but it's too fun. And the great thing about Melee is it never gets patched. I just played League recently with Cutie on stream, and one thing I noticed is like, man, everything's different. So all my practice years, they mean almost nothing. I mean,
What if you just followed the guide?
Yeah, I pulled up the guide, and the guide itself is quite dated.
Oh.
It talks about like runes and shit that don't even exist anymore.
Oh, they took out runes?
They took out runes.
Oh, I
runes don't
love
even exist.
runes.
I loved runes too.
I actually don't know. Can I tell you something?
Fuck.
Can I actually tell you something?
I believed you. I believed you. I was so excited. Nobody else loves runes like me. I thought I found a blood brother.
They're probably dope. If you like them, I like your thoughts
they're
on
not
game
that
design.
dope,
They're probably
bro.
cool. They're not that. Okay.
They were just a way to make more money, but I did like them.
Okay. Okay. Well, it is what it is.
It is.
That's an interesting. Well, okay, so we talked about. I remember at TwitchCon a couple years ago, we were talking about this very thing, and back then you were almost kind of. At least the vibe I got for you it was almost like a lament, because this was when Fortnite was taking off, right? This might have been 2017. What was the year that me and Ludwig stayed at your place for TwitchCon?
Oh yeah, probably 17 or 18.
17 or 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and this was kind of like, well, you've been in esports for a long time, and you were basically saying like, like it used to be you'd sign the best players so they can win. Those are the people that get, you know, esports contracts, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now it's, you know, you sign the influencers because, you know, they make people pog out. The times they are a changing in terms of kind of what people care about in the video game streaming space.
Yes, sir.
So like the way you think about awareness, I think, at the top of the funnel for growing any game it's just different now than it was.
100%. I mean, like
3 years ago.
I said this earlier, but it was actually a dope idea. Like if XQ, like the way that chess started blowing up on Twitch, if there was a way to get casual, bigger streamers, I know Ninja likes Melee, for example, to try Melee in a casual tournament where they're not playing against people that'll roll and smoke them, it would be a great way to show off how fun the game is. Because here's another thing. Watching Melee is also fun at any level if the people are the same skill. And that can be proven by a million show matches, dude. I remember when a Melee tournament was going on and Ludwig and Blur had a $300 show match at the same time and it was getting more viewers. And that was before Blur was big.
Yeah.
Like he had higher than average Blur. Or Scar versus Blur is another great example. Or Scar versus Fendi. If there's equal skill and a hype story, people go nuts. The average fan does not care if it's high level or not. They don't know. They don't know that fucking crouch cancel was extra fucking sick.
You're so right. No, you're blowing my because okay, listen. There was a tournament, Pat's house, the first Pat's house. There was a Martha between these two SoCal Mars who had some whatever beef. I don't know, man. They had like $50 on it. Some amount that back then was a big deal. It was hype. That venue had a balcony.
The stakes,
and all they were doing was forward smashing each other, and it was the silliest part. They would tip each other and die at 20. And it was, he died at 20. And it was, people were going nuts. People were going nuts, and it was low-level play.
People were going nuts, as long as it's equal,
In fact, even the core players, even the core Melee players actually found it entertaining because we were better than them. And we're like, their DI is atrocious. It's making us laugh. Oh, you're so right, dude. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about that.
Know, and you have those connections. It could be worth talking about. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, as long as there's two people with similar skills playing and there's a fun stakes to it, people are interested and they'll watch and then they'll get excited and they'll see how beautiful the game is and that kind of stuff. I think that's the route.
I love that you brought up chess because I think chess, dude. There's some levels in chess, man.
And they're not shy about it. That's the cool thing about chess.
Shy about
they're not. I think people. I hate that the solution people have often is like, let's dumb it down or talk about.
It seem like there's no levels.
Yeah, make it seem like there's no. Make it seem like it's really easy, and that doesn't work because people have a million other. They can go watch Netflix if they want easy. They already have better things than your game to do. They're not gonna like be fooled. They're gonna play your game and realize it's hard. You can't lie to them. You can't convince someone that StarCraft, Brood War, or chess or Melee is fucking easy. But what you can show them is that there's fucking levels. You can have fun at every level, and every time you play, you're gonna get better, which is true because there's infinite depth. And you're going to be able to smoke people. Eventually, you're going to be able to smoke people, which is going to feel fucking dope. You never played StarCraft at all in your life? Do you know StarCraft? Like, you ever played it?
Yeah, fair. I mean, I've watched a lot more.
Well, in StarCraft, at the very beginning of the game, you just got to move your workers to your minerals. That's the very beginning thing. There's like 5 workers, you move the minerals. That's a very simple thing. And in first StarCraft, you had to split them, so you had to move each one to individual patches. And it was like the first literally 3 seconds of the game. And there was a player called Atrioc who played for EG, and he messed up his split one time. Like,
wait.
What?
Did you just say there's a player named Atrioc who played for EG?
No, Idra, not Atrioc. Sorry.
Oh,
No, yeah, I just yoinked his name, dude. I just yoinked his name.
No, there's a player named Atrioc. Yeah,
No,
he was really
his name
good.
was Idra, and he messed up his split one game where he literally just sent 2 workers to the same patch. It's not a big deal. It cost you probably 3 minerals, and he resigned instantly in a professional match. he resigned in the first 3 seconds. He just quit. He was the biggest rager, dude. It was the most crazy. I'll think about that till I die.
In a pro match.
In a pro match. And like, this is back, like, for Western Brewer players, you don't get that many pro matches. Like, you get like fucking 1 tournament every 6 months. And he was in a fucking semifinals and resigned. And I was like, damn, that is fucking crazy.
Was there at least another? It wasn't the last game of the set. It was like a best
it was
of
probably
3.
game 1 and best of 3, and he's like, go next. It's crazy, dude.
I remember Idra. I do remember Idra. That is so funny.
He got kicked off EG because
remember he got kicked off. What was the deal?
He said on Twitter, on a forum or something, he said, like, somebody was talking, not even talking shit, just like saying something about his play, like, oh, he's playing a little too aggressive, and he's like, good thing I'm paid by EG not to give a fuck what you chuckle fucks think, or something like that. I don't give a flying fuck what any of you chuckle fucks think in the community. And then, like, they dropped him, of course.
Oh no.
You know what's funny?
What's ironic? So he's not being paid by them anymore.
He's not being paid by them. It was the biggest, like, self-own. It's funny because I sent that tweet or that post, I forgot where it was, to Leffen right in the height of when he didn't have his passport, and he was just being so mean on Twitter to random people. Like, he was just raging, and I was like, dude, Leffen, bro, I don't want to tell you to do your shit. I know you have your own thing, and I know you're never going to be like the nicest dude, but don't lose your TSM contract over you being in a bad mood right now. Like, this has happened before. Because he was like quote tweeting people like, you're such a fucking... Like, he was just quote tweeting random Melee fans who were saying not even that harsh things and just going all off on him. And I was like, bro, there is precedent. Like, I know you're Leffen, but just be careful, dude. Edger was pretty good at StarCraft too. He had nothing to do with rage.
He was whatever we had, this year with like COVID. I feel like for him, he
Yeah.
had like a mini version of that because he was stuck in Sweden and he couldn't go to tournaments.
Yeah.
All he could do was rage on Twitter. All the time.
That's bad for your mental. I don't play.
It is bad for your mental. I'm gonna try to make it happen, man. I'm gonna think about that.
Yeah, we should talk more.
Tip.
You know what I was thinking? And
What's up?
This is an idea for free. I talked to Scar about it, but I think he's not in the headspace for making content right now. I think he's just more of grinding.
He's not a doer.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was saying it in a nice way. Yeah, he's a thinker, not a doer. This idea is, you know how Ludwig did the LACS?
Yep.
And he brought some people together. I think a dope stream idea would be like every Sunday is like King of the Hill, and you just organize one. So it's like it's Face Roll versus Ginger one week, and then winner stays, and the prize is only $100 or whatever.
Oh, that's holy smokes.
Every Sunday, you're like kind of tuning in to see if the streak continues. Like maybe Zane goes on a fucking 9-game streak or 9 Sunday streak, and we get Mango in. And like, if it was King of the Hill Sundays, I think people would tune in. I think it'd be actually a dope.
That's a fucking idea.
And you could sell sponsors against it and make it a fucking recurring content.
If I like, pull some Melee strings and make that happen, you down to come on for commentary?
I would fucking love to come on. Yeah, because I want to be part of it, but I think it'd be weird if I did it. So I want someone with more clout in Melee to like make it happen.
I'm down.
Do it. That'd be sick.
That's a great idea. Right. And if I somehow fucking make Melee PogChamps or Melee Twitch Rivals happen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're pretty big. Yeah. You're a pretty big deal on Twitch television these days. You start playing?
Yeah. Give me in. I want to talk. I think.
Oh, are you too good to play? You might be too good.
I think I'm too. I mean,
you might be the Northern Lion of.
I would ruin it. I think I would ruin it. I think you would get casuals. I think I would.
But I was thinking.
Plus, also, I mean, you don't want me up there fucking Shido stalling 6 minutes on Ninja, dude. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Well,
I want that actually.
We could easily get Ludwig. If
I toss one needle and fucking Shido stall on, and he doesn't know how to steal the ledge, and I time out Ninja on a 3% lead. That would be the greatest moment. That would be the fucking 6-move checkmate of.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you're kind of just making it sound better. You're like, you're saying like, yeah, no one would love this.
If
No
I
one would
played
like
like a
this except me.
fool,
But you're kind of
yeah.
describing it. I'm kind of like, I don't know, dog. That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's different brackets. They're different brackets. I could fucking roll and smoke Lud. That'd be fun, but I don't want to play.
Yeah, if they did if we do 2 brackets, like, yeah, because it'd be cool to get Ludwig in, and
Yeah.
you know he'd be down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, down.
All right, I'll think about it. I'll try to make it happen.
All right, bro. Well, it's good
All right,
talking
man.
to you.
Hey, dude, good talk.
Much
Yeah, we should
love.
talk more.
I would
This was
love to
fun.
talk to you more. Yeah.
All right, dude.
All right, take it easy. Much love. Peace
Take
out.
it easy. That was a good talk. Simply versus yes, exactly. That's dude. As soon as he said it, I was already starting to think who we could get. I think we could get Ninja. I think I could get Ninja. I think me and Scar could get Ninja. Isn't Connor a melee player? Connor eats pants. Yeah, we probably get Connor. We could probably get Simply. We could probably get Mizkif. XQC follows me on Twitter. I don't know. XQC might be down. I feel like we could get 5-up. I don't know what makes me feel like we can get 5-up. I feel like we can get 5-up. Yeah, XQC does follow me on Twitter. And XQC does like, I feel like XQC would like melee. XQC is like, his whole personality is he's built to be a fucking, I don't know how else to say this. He's built to be a fucking ragey space animal player, right? Like, I feel like XQC needs to go on net play and fucking get wake up shine by a Falco and throws control. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be entertaining as hell. It would be great. It would be great.